Hey everyone, do you want to know the secret on how to create that iconic sequence from Love on a Real Train by Tangerine Dream within Omnisphere? Well then, keep watching. There's a gazillion covers of this whole track on YouTube, but I'm going to leave a link in the description below to what I think is the definitive version by Tangerine Dream. Over years, the particular sound for the sequence has changed a little between each studio recording and when they perform it live. However, it still has that hypnotic melodic feeling no matter the version that's being played. Before we dive in, could you do me a favour? Please do me a favour, just smash that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and lets YouTube know you like the content. I've also added a buy me a coffee link in the description below if you want to show your appreciation. So okay, let's ensure that we've got a initialized version of Omnisphere by clicking on the utility menu and selecting that wonderful Initialize patch. And if I go to layer A, we'll see that it's on SawSquare Bright. I can never say that properly first time. But I want for this the SawSquare Fat. And I want to set the shape to about 0.085, so it's just not quite the original. So get that, and the original is this. It's notice how it just sounds a little rougher. More square, I would say, than saw. So for the filter section, we want a low pass, warm 24 decibel. If I can find the low pass. Warm 24 decibel. There we are. I knew it was somewhere in there. I can never see it. And a little tip for you. You don't need to switch on the filter section before you choose a filter. All you need to do is choose the filter and the filter section automatically enables itself. So what I want to do then is set the cutoff to about 1.174-ish. There we go. And we get this sound. So it takes the harshness out of the saw and the square there. And I want key tracking for this filter to be around just under halfway. That'll do. And how the filter envelope now to let's just turn it down to 0.440. So now we've got a nice softer sound than we had originally. I want to add a little variety, and to do that I'll just right click on Cutoff and modulate that with a mod wheel. I just need to say mod wheel, and I don't want it to sort of be too much with the wheel here. The source only needs to be a little, so we're going to just knock that down to a 0.121, so it's only a little bit. So when I move my mod wheel, and another little tip for you, if your MIDI controller does have the facility to add a mod wheel as a pedal, then go and do it. It's like a whole new world when you do this, because I have mine set up that way and it allows me to use both hands while controlling any parameter mapped to the mod wheel with your foot, which just, it sounds, why would I want to do that? But once you try it, you'll never want to go back. Really, you'll never want to go back. So let's go to our envelope section now. For the amp section, we definitely want the attack at 0. The decay just up a little bit, 4.34 will do. Sustain about 0.58. So we're going to go like a little curve. That's all we're doing. So we get this. Now for the filter section, and this is where this envelope dial comes in the sense of this is going to determine how much of this is going to go into the filter. So what we're going to do is change that to attack to 0, and all the sliders on our 0.164. Every single one of them. or thereabouts. That'll do nicely. So as long as they're all in a line there, that is all we need. And one last important thing to do is turn the velocity down to 0.255. If it gets it, there we go. Now that's the main body of the sound done. And what I want to do is the track is 111 BPM. So if you're in the standalone version of Omnisphere like me, set the tempo to 111. Oop, just turn that round and 111. So we're now on 111 BPM. Now, if you're in your DAW, then just set the tempo in your DAW to 111 and Omnisphere will automatically clock to that. So we need to now go to the nice, wonderful sequence section of this and program in a sequence. So we turn the arpeggiator on, make sure length is on full. And what we are going to do is we need to program in this sequence a 16-bar sequence. So what I want to do is it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. We skip step 9. We want a 10. Skip 11. We want 12, 13, and 15, and skip 16. Now, with the heights, I think that's enough. That's exactly where we want them. Now, what we want to do is set step 3 to -2. We want step 7 to -5. We want step 12 to -2. Step 13 to -7. And step 15 to -2. And what this is going to do is if I play the root note, that will play the root note here, and then it will drop a whole note, play the root note, drop a third, play the root note, drop a whole note, drop a fifth, and then drop to a then go back up to a third, and we end up with this sound. Now what we need to do is change the ARP here at the bottom, this velocity, so it favours, apologies if you picked up a motorbike in the background there, we've got a little bit of an Evel Knievel flying around our wonderful streets these days. But anyway, I'm going to favour the ARP section, so we just need to move that over slightly, that'll do. And we get this now. Now, to add a little bit of fairy dust and to make this patch really zing, on the effects section on layer A, I want to add an ultra chorus. So I go into creative, and obviously modulation, ultra chorus. And the mix at 0.217, so I want a little bit. And set this rate to a smidge below halfway, so just a bit. And turn the depth all the way up, and the delay is okay at 0.010, and we now have this. Now we could do this next bit on the same layer, but I want to put it on common just in case I want to add any other sort of layers to this sound for something completely different. And then what will happen is it'll share the same reverb and delay. So I want to pop in a proverb and a single BPM. So if I go to delay and I want a BPM delay. Now for the reverb, all I'm going to do is turn this wet dry to 7. And for the delay, I'm going to leave the wet dry mix where it is and turn the bounce up to turn it down, because I don't want it. I don't want too much of a bounce. So 0.05 will do nicely. And with a dotted eighth notes. Now we have this. Now I want the tone of this now set to about halfway. And the feedback to 0. Just want it just under halfway, 0.455 will do nicely. And we're done to bliss out to the iconic riff. So I hope you enjoyed this short sound design video, and if you've made a comment already on how to create certain sounds in Omnisphere, I have made a note and I am slowly working through what's becoming quite an extensive list. So if I haven't got to the sound you've asked for yet, it will get there, and I've made a note, slowly working through them, and yeah, it might take a while to get to other ones that you've actually asked for. But if there's any others, Tangerine Dream style, Jean-Michel Jarre, etc., just stick them in the comments below and I will eventually get to them. In the meantime, stay creative, stay sonic, and I will catch you in the next one.